The idea was very simple. A limited war is one where the two sides are trying to reach a balance, an equilibrium, put in a little bit on this scale, put in a little more on that scale to get equilibrium. But an all-out war is a matter of survival for one or the other. How do you signal that you're in a limited war? Well, the Chinese signaled that the Korean War was for them a limited war by calling the troops they sent in not regular troops, but volunteers. And they signaled their limited war intentions on Taiwan by shooting missiles only on certain specified days of the week and at out-of-the-way harbors. Well, the report, as we wrote it, and Kissinger wrote most of it, was never published for a simple reason that the Convair company did not want to be tarred with the brush of Merchant of Death, the brush that had been used to discredit other defense contractors after World War I. Merchants of Death.
San Diego police are conducting another one of their well-publicized sweeps of El Cajon Boulevard. This time they're focusing in on Johns, the guys who buy the time from the prostitutes. The clear message is, this can clean up prostitution. It's a message that's being missed by the girls who work along the boulevard.
As soon as I get out, go back to work. I'll let you out, let me see. You go in, they take your fingerprints and everything else. They let you out around 2 or 3 hours, and I come back to work.
We have a terrible prostitution problem right now. I'd say it starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and it goes on all night long.
Diana Martinez, mother of 3. 2 of her children are school age. They share their bus stop with. In the middle of a police sweep, the streets and alleys are busy. Manpower dictates the sweep will end soon. And history shows there will have been very little difference made. Laura Nancaro, News 8, East San Diego.
美方声称要经营中国，但不寻求冲突。实际上，美方所谓的竞争，就是全方位的遏制、打压，就是你死我活的零和博弈。如果美方不踩刹车，继续沿着错误的道路狂飙下去，再多的护栏也挡不住脱轨翻车，陷入对抗冲突。
It's becoming more and more apparent to us that China is preparing to launch some kind of a all-out cyber attack on the United States if, in fact, we find ourselves in conflict with them over Taiwan. And what's really scary about it is that it used to take an army of folks launching all of these attacks against us, but now with artificial intelligence, you know, just a handful of people can start to launch cyber attacks all over across the United States using artificial intelligence. So yeah, it's becoming a real threat to the American homeland.
Do you see how they're planting the flag? They went after a port on the West Coast, that's China, saying we could shut down a port. They went into a Hawaiian water system in Hawaii. We can shut down water in Hawaii. They went into Texas's power grid saying we can shut down possibly Texas's power grid, maybe during a heat wave, who knows?
China's People's Liberation Army have infiltrated critical services here in the U.S.
Alexandra Hoff joins us now from our nation's capital. Alex, this is not good.
No, it's not. I mean, this infiltration appears to be part of a broader effort to insert chaos into our logistical systems. The information collected could then be weaponized if the U.S. and China were to become engaged directly in the Pacific. According to reporting from the Washington Post citing multiple U.S. and industry security officials, China's cyber army is invading critical U.S. services, like an attempt to break into the system behind Texas's independent power grid. Other victims include a water utility in Hawaii, a West Coast port, at least one oil and gas pipeline, according to that report.
drink, no drink.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for pussy.
Pussy. Come, I'll give you.
Nah, I can get on my own.
Yeah, your own.
Easy mode.
The one, you don't follow me.
Don't follow me, don't follow me.
Take a look from my stupid.
Don't follow me.
Restricted federal funding for obscene art, but did not satisfy conservatives by ruling it out completely. The law left it up to the National Endowment for the Arts and the National Endowment for the Humanities to judge what was obscene. The new chairman of the National Endowment for the Arts suspended an exhibit of artworks depicting the emotions of AIDS patients and their friends. He said he was doing so because the exhibit's catalog made derogatory references to political and religious leaders, among them John Cardinal O'Connor, the Roman Catholic Archbishop of New York, and Senator Jesse Helms.
The reality play called A Trip to Hell will be allowed to operate in the city of Lorain after all. At first, city officials, you might recall, planned to stop the outdoor presentation because they say the church producing the event did not file for the proper permits. However, late today, all that was cleared up. The city agreed, after all, the church did not need a carnival permit to run the show. The reality play will run for the next 3 weekends starting at 7 p.m.
Facial recognition software is embedded into building entrances, and the information is sent to the police. So the state always knows who's coming and going.
Suddenly, no one was allowed to visit us, only very close relatives. We had to get their visit approved with date, time, and a reason.
Live from London, this is BBC News.
taken off the train, but we're giving it a shot.
I know, Jamie, it is so dangerous, and you think after that incident where that boy lost his arm would deter people from doing it, but subway surfing is becoming so common that all the riders we've been speaking to this morning said they've either witnessed it themselves or have actually been on a train that's been stopped because a conductor has said that there are people riding on top of it. It usually involves teenagers, and when we ask the riders, why do you think that they're doing this, they say maybe it's because it's a dare, or if it's just because to film and post on social media like TikTok or Instagram. But the MTA is repeatedly warning against the dangers of subway surfing. This was the video that was posted to Instagram earlier this week of the latest incident involving two people riding the subway here along the 7 train line, where it is increasingly common because it is an elevated line, because it is above ground for so long. You can see that there are 2 individuals on top of this train here at the 40th and Lowry Street station. One person is sitting on the back of the train, the other person is walking along top of it. And when asked about this incident, the MTA said in a statement, quote, "Riding outside a train car is subway stupidity. It never ends well. Usually hurt, killed, or arrested."
Natalie, this is new at 4. There's troubling new video showing several people standing, even dancing on top of a moving subway train in Brooklyn. These subway surfers took the video of themselves and posted it on TikTok, and now the NYPD is looking at them closely. News 4's Rana Novini on the Lower East Side now. Rana.
Yeah, and David, in that video, you clearly see that group of people standing on top of the subway as it traveled over the Williamsburg Bridge here behind me. A dangerous stunt that's now caught the attention of the NYPD.
The video shared on TikTok shows a first-hand view. 8 people out for a joyride on top of subway cars as it traveled over the Williamsburg Bridge. The group appears to be having the time of their lives, but now police are looking for them.
You know, there's this weird culture of trying to outdo people and do these outlandish things lately.
Outrageous and now viral video was recorded right here Tuesday afternoon. The platform was packed, the subway cars were crowded, so 3 teenagers decided to hold on for one wild ride.
There comes a time, maybe every 6 to 8 generations, where the world changes in a very short time. And
we are at that time now.
We are. And I think what happens in the next 2-3 years are going to determine what the world looks like for the next 5 or 6 decades.
The European Central Bank has told lenders to brace for a test of how they would respond to a cyber attack, unprecedented in its severity. Beyond that, the regulator is keeping them guessing, just like real-life hackers would. In a briefing last month, the ECB gave banks only a broad outline of the exam, according to people familiar with the matter. The attack assumes hackers have overcome all of the bank's defenses and are at the core of their main technology system. The people said, asking for anonymity, discussing private information. That would make the event simulated by the ECB worse than any public cyber incident affecting the industry in recent years, with a multitude of customer data at risk. And the regulator has frequently warned of the danger posed by hackers, including after Russia's liberation of Ukraine last year, and has said the stress test will be a learning experience for lenders and supervisors alike. Banks now have about 400 questions that they will need to answer for the test, according to KPMG, which is advising lenders on the exam. An ECB spokesperson declined to comment, and firms that have dealt with cyber issues will already be able to answer some of the questions, while others can only be addressed once lenders know the scenario. Lucas Dowse, partner in the field of consulting cybersecurity at KPMG, said in an interview, "Many points are of a more general nature." He added, like, do you perform recovery tests? Which ones? What kind of recovery tests have been performed in the past? What kind of economic impact do you have when the scenario hits you? What is your crisis management? How do you communicate with clients? Still, banks will have to wait until next month for the ECB to share the details of the hypothetical attack, said the people familiar with the matter. There's still a big element of surprise once they hear about the actual scenario. Dowse said, and the ECB's scrutiny comes as authorities in Europe say the risk from cyber attacks remains elevated with geopolitical turmoil spilling over into the private sector. The test is billed as an exercise to improve banks' risk management rather than as an exam that will have a direct impact on their capital requirements. The test involves more than 100 banks directly overseen by the ECB. 28 lenders will be subject to a more detailed assessment with possible on-site investigations. The results of individual lenders aren't expected to be made public. However, they will indirectly feed into the ECB's regular assessment of the risks that banks face, which determine people who use their capital requirements. It's going to be complex. It's going to be difficult to deal with it. It's going to be bigger than the recent threats that we saw in the market. Dowse said